This episode is fueled by Mountain Ops, supplements to conquer more and crush your countdowns. Visit mountainops.com for all your supplemental needs. Fuel, recover, repeat.
I can do it. 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 You got it. 3, 2, drop. You can do it. I got it. Be brave. Be brave. Still good?
Let's go, let's go.
You got this. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I'm so happy that would work. I was so scared.
You landed perfect. Yeah, you just hit a 25er.
Oh my gosh, I might cry.
It's okay to cry.
I'm pretty proud of myself. Can I cuss? Yes. Okay, holy shit, that was so scary, but I'm so stoked that I got both ticked off. Taking on the second feature, the second drop was very daunting, and I did so many run-ins, I just kept panicking. At one point, when I was up at the top, I was like, I just don't know if I can do this. Like, I really considered giving up, and I was like, okay, you are so much stronger than this stupid little drop. I know you can do it. And the hardest part's done. So I'm really proud of myself. Today was a really cool day. I am super proud that I did both features, so proud that I cried. I guess I wasn't expecting to feel super emotional after, but I think I was just so proud of myself, and I didn't ever think that I would be able to guinea something, and now I can say that I have.
Welcome back to Countdown 2 Podcast. I'm your co-host, Drew.
I'm Leighton.
And we're brothers.
Yes, we are. Today we have Samantha Soriano, a pro mountain biker who rides for Canyon and Adidas and a whole bunch of other people.
Come on, say the fork.
She's
say the fork.
No, Marzucci.
Marzucci.
This is funny because I actually just had this conversation with my team manager last year, and I was like, "It's Marzocchi, right?" He's like, "No, it's not." Wait, actually, I was saying Marzocchi, and it's actually Marzocchi. The brand is like Italian, and I was saying it not Italian-esque, so it's Marzocchi. Yeah.
It's Marzocchi, yeah. And anyway, Sam, you are the queen of self-talk and the champion of I Can Do It, and we are very honored to have you here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're definitely stoked on it. And
yes,
right before this clip started, Leighton's going to add your submission to Red Bull Rampage. Yeah. And what we're really taking away from it is we absolutely love your self-talk. In fact, I was showing my wife and my kid, I got a 9-year-old boy, it the other day, and it brought like emotions to us because here's somebody who's just practicing this beautiful self-talk that allows you to do crazy things, and it's just, I don't know. Woo! So that played beforehand, and I have goosebumps now. So
yeah, I know we were watching because it's been a while since I've seen your video, and I was just like, I am so pumped. Like, like I want to go ride. Oh, it's the middle of the night. I can't. I mean,
it always hits at the worst time.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a crazy background of bicycles, which is cool. Like, because you started BMX from 3 and 4 racing, right?
Yeah.
Out in Colorado, and and your dad had a role in that.
Yeah, I was talking about this the other day with somebody, and I was saying how long I had been riding for, and I was like, I've been riding for over 20 years.
Right.
And I'm 25.
Yeah.
But just saying that number felt like really big. But yeah, I learned how to ride a bike at 2 years old. My older brother is 2 years older than me, and I wanted so desperately to be like Ross. So I was like, I'm learning today, right now.
Yeah.
So my dad is a cancer doctor, and so every time he would drive to work, he would pass a BMX track. And my dad's an outdoorsy guy. I wouldn't really peg him as like a stellar athlete. Sorry, Dad. But like he's done marathons and stuff, but he wasn't like, I would say, you know what? Maybe I take that back. He's actually a stellar athlete.
There you go.
But he got my older brother and I into BMX racing, and I think that was our first introduction into any sort of bike racing. It was so fun for a lot of years, and I account so much of my own bike skill to how many years I raced BMX for, which was 10 years, which also feels like a crazy large number. And I mean, I think my dad, especially coming from the Philippines, wanted to give all of me and my siblings as many opportunities we possibly could have. So we raced BMX, we competitively rock climbed, I played soccer. We just kind of did everything. And then Ross and I, just ended up landing on BMX with it being our sport. I know my dad's probably going to listen to this, but he is definitely like a live through your kid vicariously parent. So he was pretty hard on us with the BMX, which I think it was good in some ways. It definitely instilled so much determination and motivation in me that I don't think I would have ever gotten from anything else. But I think at a point I just felt so stagnant with BMX. It was not something that was bringing me joy. I didn't want to go to the track. I didn't want to go racing. I just didn't want to ride. And that was the first time I think I'd ever experienced burnout at the ripe age of 14 years old. So at that point, he had gotten us into cross-country mountain biking. And I did my first cross-country race. And I didn't know you had to drink water while you rode.
The long distance versus short.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember stopping and chugging water. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And after the race, my dad and brother were like, how'd it go? And I was like, man, it's kind of hard. I stopped to drink water. He's like, what are you talking about? You have to drink while you ride. And I was like, no one told me that. Yeah. And I was like,
duh,
what?
Don't you know?
So yeah, that was definitely a really big switch. We ended up buying a mountain condo at the base of Trestle Bike Park. And my dad was like, so we should try out this whole bike park thing. And that I think was really the kickstart of I love this whole mountain biking thing, this downhill thing.
Yeah.
That spiraled very quickly of okay, well, you're not racing BMX anymore. Let's try a different type of racing. Let's start racing enduro. At that time, the BME and the EWSs were really big in Colorado, and there were so many races. So we just started racing enduro, and I loved it. I hated the pedaling part, but I loved the downhill part. And I built such a great community around me, especially as a young teenager. I had so many friends. I looked forward to race weekends because I got to see all of my friends. So
you made it fun again.
Yeah.
So
it was really fun to have something that brought me joy again. And also in the least arrogant way, it was fun to be good at something again too. Because I think when I was when I was racing BMX, I just like wasn't really motivated by it. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to try. So then you start kind of like falling down the tier. And then once I switched into mountain biking, I just started winning, and that really fueled me. So I was like, I like it here.
Yeah.
I
love that.
So yeah.
That's great. Well, yeah. And then you ended up winning a national downhill champion at 17, right?
Yeah.
No big deal or anything.
No biggie.
Yeah, no biggie.
My first, I'd say, legit bike sponsor kind of had me pick between enduro and downhill. And at that time, I had raced downhill kind of sporadically. I think my first downhill race was at the Snowshoe National Champs 2015, 2016, I think, or somewhere around that area. And this team was like, hey, you kind of have to pick between either racing downhill or enduro, and I picked downhill, obviously, because no pedaling.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So I went pro at 16, and just, I mean, also there wasn't enough girls at the time to have a junior category, so I just moved up. And obviously you're racing with people who are 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
I definitely was thrown into the deep end, but I'm also very happy for that as well. But yeah, I became the youngest woman to win an elite national champ title, which was really cool. I would also say that started a whirlwind of downturn events and just lots of shame and guilt and feeling like I didn't actually deserve that title. I just got really lucky.
Yeah.
And then the next year when I was racing World Cups, I just like dug myself into a hole trying to prove something. And the year prior in juniors, I had a pretty good year. I'd say like I have a couple claim to fames, and one of them is that I've podiumed at a World Cup as a junior. And I podiumed at a junior World Cup. I've won an EWS, and I've won an elite national champ title. And I was like, racing career's done.
Nice. Okay, wait. So let's go in that moment though, because you briefly mentioned that you were feeling the pull or the frustrations of, did I earn this? Was that, something that I actually did, or, was it circumstances or not? Where in this line did I can do this come from? Or was it after all this?
It was way after. I would say that was, I think at that point, that was like that was kind of like the catalyst for me switching into freeride. A year later, I'd lost the national champs title, and I felt so relieved that I didn't have that pressure anymore. And it was at my home mountain too. It was at Trestle, and people were like, oh, you must be so bummed. I'm like, yeah, I am.
Totally. Darn it.
And so that kind of prompted my switch into freeride. I had a friend get signed by Red Bull, and he's a skier, and we had been riding the bike park together all summer, and he'd been recording so many riding clips of me. And I was like, I remember seeing clips of Formation in 2019, the inaugural year, and I had the worst FOMO, but I was like, why do I have FOMO? I don't even know how I would get into this event anyways. Right. And because my friend got signed to Red Bull for skiing, I got connected with the Rockies, I'd say team manager for Red Bull, and he was like, you should be at Formation. And there was a day that we rode all together, and he was watching me ride, and he's like, you should be at Formation. And so that kind of was the catalyst for like, you should do this. And I participated in Formation for 2 years, in 2021 and 2022. And I would say those years were really important to the development of the I can do it method phrase. I would say I've learned this now, and I am so aware of why I was doing it before, but as a blossoming freerider, I was so motivated by outside validation that I wanted to ride huge features, and I craved, honestly, the validation that I was getting off of social media. So every time I came out to the desert, I would hit bigger features, do bigger tricks on them, and I just was like progressing and ticking off things back to back to back. And then at Formation in 2021, I wanted to prove so desperately that I deserved to be there that I ended up riding a line that was way over my comfort level. Like, my body handled it, but my brain was not mentally prepared to ride that. And so that was the inner workings of like the deepest progression run I've ever been in. And I remember I felt so fried after that event, emotionally and physically. And it went on for, I think 2 years. So it was like, I didn't even know how to pull myself out of it. I was so terrified to hit everything, and I couldn't pull myself out of it. And I would make excuse after excuse of like, oh, just feeling a bit tired today, just like not into it. And I would stay within my comfort zone to a fault.
Sure.
So it was just really tough, and I didn't know how to pull myself out of it. And my boyfriend was like, you've got to lock in, dude. Like, what's happening? 'Cause there was lots of other things in my life that were, I kind of just felt like everything was crumbling. And I think it was like how much pressure I was putting on myself. And so he's like, you should read this book. And we're both friends with Braden Bringhurst. He's my teammate on Canon.
Yeah.
Honestly, the most amazing human ever. Oh, shameless plug. There it is.
Actually, I have mine here too.
And I ended up reading The Fearless Mind, and it was the chapter where Craig is talking about how he told the tennis player to say, I can do it, in her head, and she ended up saying out loud in between hits. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know when you read a book and once you finish, you're like, cool, what did I just read?
Yeah.
None of that was properly encoded.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of how I felt about that book minus that chapter. And at that point I was like, okay, I think I can do this. Like, I'm going to take a step out of my comfort zone, and I got it. And at that time, 9 Lives, which is a really popular jump line here in like southern Utah, was getting really popular. And I walked up there one time and looked at the first feature, which is a step down. And I remember thinking, no way I would hit that. No way I would hit that. I don't have the skill. I could never do it. And so my boyfriend and I went out riding, which we never ride together. We keep relationship and work extremely separate, but we went out riding together. And I looked at him and I was like, I think I want to try it today. I feel so bad. He did 15, I want to say minimum run-ins. And every time I would go to the jump, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was starting to get so frustrated with myself. And he was like, okay, obviously he's really tired. I'm tired from walking up this thing so many times. And I don't know, it just popped into my head. And I was like, well, what if I tried saying I can do it?
Right.
And I dropped in and I was whispering it. I was like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And you can hear it on my POV footage, but I was whispering it because I was pretty embarrassed. And I hit the jump and I was like, it was the easiest thing I've ever done.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really like the evolution of how it came to light.
That's simple. That's awesome. It's like,
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do when you get past your brain. Like, just a thought. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But it's simple, and it takes a lot. Like I've developed over the years with riding of like, I call it attack mode, and it's for my brain. I use it with my fiance all the time, or because I'll be behind her, I'll be like, attack mode, and she's like, all right, and it makes her like attack the feature instead of like hesitant, and then that's when you get hurt. And this came up earlier, but when you're talking about having extreme FOMO for that event, I feel like you knew you belonged there, and like you were on to the next chapter of from racing to free ride. And so that's just, I thought that was awesome that kind of came out. But
I guess I've never thought about it that way, but it was like, yeah, I guess I saw myself being there and I wanted to be there, and now look at me, I'm here.
Yeah. And I feel like with free ride, it's like a little less pressure because it's you against you versus like, versus a clock, as much,
Which I almost think that's like sometimes worse.
Right.
And you definitely are your worst enemy. And so not having that thing to base, or I guess like to gauge off of, it gets like a little like weird.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I don't know. I'll just find myself being overly critical about super dumb things with myself. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
Right. Put yourself in check.
Stop it. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, like, so you have that submission for Red Bull. Did you ever feel a part of you at that time being like, what am I doing here submitting to Red Bull? And if that's the case, did you use that same mantra to even just submit it?
The funny story is with that submission is that I think in my mind, I can do it, and submitting for Rampage are two very separate entities. They aren't even anywhere related. And I think I felt compelled to submit. I think also with the women's freeride movement being so new, you kind of get grouped in with these people of like, hey, all of these people are going to submit. You should submit because you're a women's freerider.
Right.
And so I submitted the first year and didn't get in, and was like, oh, okay, I'm not actually mad about that. And I was like, I didn't know what it would be like either. So I was like, there was a lot of unknowns. I watched the first year, was super inspired by all of the women. And so I was like, okay, I think I feel a little bit more comfortable submitting this year. I think I also went into that project too with it being, this is not a project for Rampage. This is a project for me. It's getting a second life as a Rampage submission, but this project is something that I would do outside the fact that I would or wouldn't like get in.
Yeah.
Also, it took on a very different look from normal Rampage submissions. I think standard Rampage submission is a shred it. That's all one bangs. And I think for me, especially living out here, I have seen the inner workings of what it takes to build a Rampage line.
Right.
And in no way, shape, or form was the line that I built the craziest and the biggest thing that I could have ever built. But the fact that I built it and I had tested it myself, I thought would be a good indication of like, you have what it takes to build and be part of Rampage. And also I wanted it to be, there's so many kids that want to be in Rampage, and I think for me, especially as a young athlete and a young rider, I didn't see very many people talking about what the emotional turmoil they go through. And now that I have friends competing in it, you see them go through some of the worst emotional phases. And I really wanted to lift up the hood and show that of like, I am so terrified to test this feature, one, because it could go terribly wrong or it could go right, but it's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah. Sure.
And I think the more that I and we as a mountain biking community have that conversation, it just gets a little bit easier to overcome those fears without suppressing it and having it be so big.
Oh, yeah. On that note, real quick, if you wouldn't mind explaining to our listeners what Rampage is, because we definitely have listeners that don't mountain bike and all that. So maybe just take us to the location and then just like the feature itself and what it entails to even do.
Yeah. So Rampage is, I would say, the pinnacle of freeride events. It happens once a year, only in Virgin, Utah, which is a very small, sleepy town in southern Utah. I think 18 male athletes and 12 female athletes come together to, one, build their own line individually. Each rider usually will build a line. Oftentimes you can team up with different groups, but usually you have your one-off feature. And then the event is judged by a panel of judges, and they're going off of amplitude, technicality, various other things, tricks, thank you.
Not dying.
Yeah, emphasis on that. I would say like the judging is a little gray, but I would say there's just like a multitude of things that go into it. They like to see a big drop. They like to see at least one trick in your line. So you kind of have to...
Top to bottom, we're talking what elevation loss is it?
I actually
roughly?
don't know. I want to say... honestly, I really don't know. I like at least 800 feet, maybe less than that. Yeah, I should know.
We're talking cliffs, ridge lines, just insane stuff. And I'm just painting that picture because as you talk and are expressing like, oh, coming over this fear, it's not like you're, the trails of the past. It's not like cross country trails. These are insane. I mean, like for our listeners, Google Red Bull Rampage and this conversation is going to take a whole new meaning to you. if you don't know what it is. So
I feel like because of Instagram and TikTok, a lot of Rampage POV gets shared because I'll have coworkers or friends and be like, holy God, is this what you do? And I'm like, no, that's not what I do at all.
You're like so close.
Yeah.
I actually do something really similar, but like same adjacent.
Right, adjacent, yeah, exactly. A little safer, you know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, there's definitely some people who are like, yeah, it gives me just so much anxiety just watching it. I'm like, me too, you know, like
it gives me
wild.
anxiety
Okay, so
riding it.
Yeah,
Red Bull Rampage typically descends more than 600 feet.
Jeez,
That doesn't sound that big, but it's big.
It honestly,
how short it is though, you know. Like,
it's extremely short.
Yeah.
When I first came out to the desert, and why was I here? I was here on like a trip for to try this whole free riding thing out and the Mecca of free ride. And I remember driving past the 2019 Rampage site, and I looked at it and I was like, that's it. And
right?
It's funny because some of the sites you don't drop all the way from the top, you kind of drop from, I want to say, 3/4 of the way down. Mm-hmm. But I walked up the site, and 2019, or like the site that they used for 2018, 2019, and I want to say 2024 or 25, gives me vertigo. It is so steep. The size of the drops is disgusting.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. You see so many of these clips from Rampage floating around the internet, and no one, unless you've been to that event and maybe walked around the site, actually can comprehend the amplitude and just the magnitude of all of the features. I mean, I'll get kids oftentimes commenting on my TikTok primarily, and they're like, this doesn't even like look that hard. And I'm like, be my guest. Come out here and
let's do this.
Come ride
Straight
it.
Invitation.
Yeah.
Well, and
So
I mean,
they
even
just don't
your
come across
drop,
well.
even your drop and your submission, what would you? I mean, is that the equivalent of dropping off the roof of a house or a 2-story? What would you say?
Maybe.
I mean, because that's
I think it was
drop.
like 20.
I thought he said
It was
20 or
relatively.
25 feet.
I think it was really plumb. So I think to like the top was 16, and then I did it to 25 because I was scared. So yeah, I'd say maybe like jumping off your house.
Yeah, no big deal, you know.
No,
yeah, no
no
problem.
biggie. Just a normal day at work.
It's just funny the skewed from online versus in person, because there's so many videos I've seen for me of a trail I'm checking out and be like, oh yeah, I could hit that. Then you get there, you're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Was that the whole enchilada for you?
That was not the.
I'm sorry.
Well, I did the snotch.
That was mean.
Well, no, I went down the snotch, but
Yeah.
I
Snotch rode him.
I snapped collarbone in 3 places. That was a good time, but
You got a trophy from it. Your trophy is metal. It's in your body.
Yep.
So
And every
really
time-
good souvenir.
Every time I catch a power clean too low, I feel the bar on the metal hit there. It's nice.
It's your friendly reminder.
to hold it up higher. But
Yeah.
This episode is outfitted by Pendulum Threads, built for the hybrid athlete. Whether you're in the gym, on the trail, or chasing your next challenge, their gear moves with you. Head to pendulumthreads.com and use code COUNTDOWN2 for 15% off your order. Pendulum Threads. Perfect comfort, perfect performance.
Okay, back to the book.
Yes.
You said one chapter was really nailed it for you. By chance, did you ever seek out or find and do the journal?
Oh, I didn't do the journal, but I do I think it's like 2 in 1, or it's 2 things you did well and then 1 thing you can improve on.
Yeah.
And I try to journal every night just to get your thoughts out.
Sure.
Better out than in. I always use that Shrek quote. I know they're talking about farting, but I also think the same goes for your emotions, because if you hold a fart in, your stomach hurts so bad. And it's same with your emotions. It's like if you hold in or suppress your fear, you will have an explosion.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
100%.
So I would so once I hit that step down, I was like, wait, maybe I'm actually going to pull myself out of my progression rut. I made it a goal to do the whole thing of 9 lives, and I just ticked off features here and there, and every time I used the I can do it stuff, and I had the video go super viral of the I guess the first time that I had like actually posted I can do it stuff, and I just was like ticking off features, but also it was one of the times, I guess it was the first time I experienced I was taking off features mostly for myself instead of external validation. And that felt so much more rewarding and fulfilling. So I started ticking them off, and every time I would ride, I would do 2 things that I did well and then the one thing that I can improve on. And then the next time I rode, I was like, all right, today's focus is the thing that I can improve on. And then it kind of was, in my podcast, I talked about it, how it was kind of like building a staircase where it was a bunch of little stairs, but they were consistently moving forward instead of it having it be like, I mean, nobody likes walking up a stair set where you're like jumping up stairs. So it was like a good, I guess, I don't know how to explain it. Like it was a good platform. It's not the word I'm looking for. I don't know. It was just like a good formula. That's what I was. It was a good formula to, one, not be too hard on myself, and also be like, you did good today. And I have 3 reasons or 2 reasons why you did good.
I love that.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. In your video, you encourage yourself quite a bit in different ways, and you say several different things. Do you have a go-to? Or is it just kind of in the moment, whatever you're feeling? I mean, you're affirming that you can do this. You're also affirming that I know how to jump. This is going to be epic, and so on.
Honestly, I don't know, because now that it's something that I do, oftentimes I'll just start talking and I'm not actually like thinking about what I'm saying.
Sure.
I just know to say, 1, say something positive, and 2, like affirm that you got it. I actually was thinking about this today. I have started saying, you've got this, but I think that saying you got this and the way that I say it is really conducive to regulating my nervous system in the way that your breath comes out. So I'll say like, I'll take a really big deep breath and be like, you got this. And then I'll like extend out the this. And like, you can hear, I was just editing like some videos. And the way that I say, like, I'll just whisper or like say it and be like, you got this, you got this. But I think the way that I'm saying this and holding it out, that long exhale to a really deep inhale, I think regulates my nervous system a lot better than saying, well, I feel like when I say I can do it, it's kind of like a quick, like, rapid breathe. So I would say I've been saying you got this a lot more. And I didn't even realize, but I really do think it's just from like the nervous system regulation and just like the breathing pattern that I'm doing.
Right. And I love that you're tying it into the breathing, because now it's 2-part. I got this, just saying out loud is just, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's just one thing. Pulling into the breath. Now you're talking about 2 systems that your brain is listening to. And to where it does relax. So
That's yoga,
I mean, it literally popped into my head today where I was like, wait, I'm regulating my nervous system by essentially doing long exhale, deep inhale, and also speaking. You'd think I'd be like maybe a little bit more focused on riding, but in my head, I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? What are you breathing?
Yeah. Well, so for us, I mean, it's so funny you were talking about keeping work separate of mountain biking being work. For us, it's hobby, it's passion. Not that it's not a passion for you, but it's just funny making that differential. But like, so for the Fearless Mind, when Braden's movie came out, 8,600 feet, going up the whole enchilada, when that came out, just real fast, I was in a crazy depression. I was mountain biking back then too, but just alcoholism, just not living a good life. And it encouraged me of like, whoa, I want to actually change my life around, because I was not happy with it. And my brother was wanting to do the same thing. And so we we were like
wanting to change his life around. Yeah.
yeah. Wanting to change
You're
my
like,
life
can
too.
you lock in? You're embarrassing me.
Yes, the sibling thing,
Yeah.
and I'm the younger one, like you are to your brother, and so I got into mountain biking because of Drew, and and then we, you know, that film talks about the fearless mind and Dr. Craig Manning, and so we got the book, and same thing for us. It just lit up, and it's not a thick book too. It is.
No, it's 200 pages,
and you have to suffer through tennis. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well,
which you know
sense.
what? I actually from that book, I've now become a tennis connoisseur. My
cool.
boyfriend grew up playing tennis as well. He's now also a professional mountain biker, but we also live in like the pickleball mecca of I
Right?
don't know.
That's
and
hilarious.
so we like also play pickleball, and then in turn I got into tennis.
Okay.
I love watching mostly women's tennis. I'm a huge Coco Gauff fan. But now, the first time I read it, I was like,
right.
I have no idea what this is.
Right.
I don't know what they're talking about. And I was like, I'm just going to plug and play mountain biking terms where these tennis ones are right now. But now I can read it and I'm like, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. We're locked in.
Well, and that is what we've been preaching on here is like, this isn't a mountain biking podcast of where we're talking about bike specs and things like that. This is the principles from what we've learned through our health journeys from the Fearless Mind. And it's transferable to, you know, enter your sport here, you know, because we have a lot of, oddly enough, we have a lot of hunters. Our sponsors, Mountain Ops, out of Salt Lake City. And so it's like, you're not going to come on here and just learn about mountain biking. It's just like, this is how we made mountain biking better. So what I want to get at is that we have found that those principles transfer to other areas in our life, being better partners, being better parents, you know, whatever. Did you see, do you have examples of other areas in your life getting better after learning I got this?
I mean, I honestly feel like my life flipped on its head in the best way. Similar to you. Yeah. Similar to you, I think I definitely was in depression where my progression rate was just taking everything out of me. There was other things in my life that felt like they were falling apart. And I remember talking to my therapist and I was like, do you think I need to go on like antidepressants? And she's like, no, I think you're okay. We just gotta, which there is nothing wrong with being medicated. I think I was just like, I kind of just wanted a cop out instead of actually facing the music and being like, well, I have the power to change all of the hardships that's going on in my life right now. I'm just choosing not to.
Right.
So after the I Can Do It kind of fell in my lap, I just felt so much more confident about myself. The way that Ross and I treated each other when we were riding was awful. And we were big bullies to each other. We would harass each other nonstop. And it was like, well, if you don't hit this feature, he would like, I guess the way that we would go about hitting new features is you would bully them into doing it and you would say all these awful things about them if they didn't do it. And then it's like, okay, well, if you didn't do it, you actually suck at biking. Or if you didn't do it, you shouldn't have a career. That was like another big thing. He was like, we would say to each other, well, if you don't do something, then you shouldn't even be riding at all because other people are doing it. And that killed both of our confidence. And we just had no idea that we were doing that.
Right.
And it took so much mental like liveliness, and I still had that ingrained in me until the I Can Do It stuff. And I think for the first time I was being kind to myself, and so that extended to so many different facets of my life. Of one, I'm allowed to make mistakes. I think since the I Can Do It stuff, I am so much better about making mistakes and not having it feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, or that I'm an awful human, or that I don't deserve this. If I mess up, even with like a friend, or I miss a particular thing, or I upset my partner, it's like, I made a mistake. I can 100% take full accountability for that, and I can move on.
Yeah.
Instead of it feeling like it's just stuck and I won't ever move on.
Well, when you're talking about being okay with making mistakes, the journaling portion of the Fearless Mind, it's not do the 2 good things you did and if you made a mistake, or what you can't, if there's something you can do better, there is something you can improve on. It's expected versus, so it's okay, you know.
And one thing I wanted to bring up, I really appreciate you saying this, like you went to your therapist and asked, you know, as you're working through things and trying to get out of that rut, do I need, you know, medication? A lot of people do. A lot of people do it. And thankfully, your therapist encouraged you, no, not at this time. And you found this route. And I love that piece because there's so much that we can do without dependence on drugs. Yes, there are people that have to be dependent on drugs or, you know, having that medication that helps and stuff like that. But there's so much more we can do up here to help ourselves. And it's not one of those things where it's like, I can fix myself, or like, you know, I mean, you just said your dad is a surgeon for cancer. You know, if I get cancer, I can't fix myself through my positive talk. Yet, you know, there's other areas that we can change our perspective, our mindset, that gets us out of these ruts. So love that.
Yeah. I read a book that was also super life-changing. I would say A Fearless Mind and then The Body Keeps Score. I would say those are my 2 favorite books.
I've read that too.
And and they have a section about how medication, yes, is 100% very important with fighting trauma and various other like hardships in your life, 100%. But that has to be accompanied by some sort of therapy where you're talking and you're actively getting guidance by someone who can help you turn or help you improve whatever is going on. And I'm a huge advocate for therapy because I originally thought therapy made you weak, and that stems from the way my brother and I talk to each other. That stems from also being a female in a masculine sport. Right. That stems from just so many things that had gone on in my personal life of like, if you show your emotions, you are weak. And so I was like, I'm never going to therapy. I don't need it. And I had shoulder surgery in 2019. And at that point, I remember talking to my mom, and my mom and I had a very strained relationship. And I remember telling her, I was like, Mom, I think I'm ready to go to therapy. And I'm so thankful that I did, but I'm also thankful that my therapist has been like, you have the power to change what's going on right now. You have to take the steps forward. Sure, it might take a long time, and that's totally okay, but you have to move forward. You have to address the past to move forward.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I keep on nerding out here. Leighton, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
There's just so much
I'm used to it.
Good stuff here.
I mean, I have experience in this too, so I would like to chime in eventually. But
no. I'm sorry. Like I loved Body Keeps Score. I've had fibromyalgia all my adult life, and it wasn't until I started to realize, like, if you don't get it out, where's it going to go?
Yeah.
Where's all that trauma going? It's got to go somewhere. It's going to go in your body. It's going to go in your joints, your muscles, and you're miserable, if you try to hold it in. So I 100% am with you with just go see a therapist, a good therapist, find a good therapist, and keep going until you can find one. Yeah. And I mean, my wife would be stoked because she's a therapist. So
shout out to all the therapist baddies out there.
Oh, that's a bumper sticker. I like it.
Well, it's funny because when I started changing my life around, I started therapy too. And I just finally I need to do this. And then I got on antidepressants for a while, and it helped with certain self-sabotaging things, chemical reactions in my brain. But eventually with exercise, with therapy, with self-talk, believing in myself, I got out of that. I've been off them for 3 years, I think. But it's so annoying watching Hulu or something because every ad is pharmaceuticals, and I'm like, just go exercise. Go, it's the answer. Go move your body. It doesn't have to be crazy weightlifting or anything, but get in the sunshine and so I but yeah.
It's funny how a good thing can be so good, but also misused. I think as humans, our natural affliction is for things to be easy.
Oh,
And we will always take the easy way out. And I think I feel like oftentimes you'll see people who are baffled by some people's success of, I mean, wow, they're just an incredible human, which 100% they are, but also they tried and they put themselves out there.
Yeah.
I think also there have been comments made about my own career of how did she get the success and how did she get the sponsors? And I totally can understand that from the standpoint of I'm not racing and that's hard to comprehend. I'm not racing and I'm not competing in free ride events. So you can 100% look at my career and be like, how does that make sense? But I have worked so hard for everything that I've gotten. And if I was just like twiddling my thumbs and magically things happen, I would say, yeah, you're allowed to make those comments about my career. But I'm also so proud of the effort that I've put in to get to be where I'm at now.
Right.
And I work with an incredible agent, and we really work as a team to, one, make sure that I'm staying organic to myself and what I want to do, but also like, this is my career. Like it is my job and I have to treat it like a job. It's not just like, cool, I'm a professional mountain biker.
Let's go have fun and ride bikes.
Yeah, I'm like, I get to do nothing. I'm like, it's a job. I have to like do job things.
Yeah. Well, and that job, there's a lot of fear and big stuff. You know, we ride little single track, you know, and then you're flying down the tree and
Easy,
sorry, Drew.
dude. Jeez.
I'm just saying it's not the same, you know, it's not the same level as people as much having it as a hobby, you know. It's
for sure.
It's still there. It's scary. It's a scary job, you know. It's exciting. It's a thrilling job, but yeah, there's some fear in there. But you mentioned the fear of vulnerability and submitting your very first self-talk video on your podcast, and I'll shout out your podcast a little bit, but
can you pronounce it?
Yes.
It's Kayako.
I know. It's
dang it! I
Kayako.
wanted
Dang
Leighton
it.
to.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Sam, can you pronounce your own podcast?
No,
I'm like, actually, no, I don't know how.
Kayako, yeah, and it's Tagalog for I can.
I can.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was kind of crazy how that all fell into place. I shot a documentary in the Philippines, and I've stayed in contact with the people who I shot the film with, and I was texting them. I was like, hey, Chris, hey, Vince, can you help me come up with a name for my group ride? I want it to be called Tagalog, but I also don't want it to be too complicated to say. The name of the film is called Trail to Bayanihan, and when you look at Bayanihan phonetically, it's like,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't even know how to say it, but then when you hear Bayanihan, you're like, oh, makes sense. I wanted to use Bayanihan, but it looks hard to say and it would get botched more times than not. So I was like, okay, I need something that's easy to say, and I want it to be something tied around community, that I can do it method. And they were like, why don't you try Kayako? And I was like,
boom.
That's it. That's it.
That's so cool.
Anyways, back to the vulnerability thing.
Yes. Yeah. Could you share why that was? And
just with my past and the way that Ross and I spoke to each other, the fact that I felt embarrassed. I felt so morbidly embarrassed by my fear. Also, I wasn't seeing it either. I wasn't seeing my favorite athletes talk about their fear and their emotions. It was just kind of like stonewall. And so I interpreted that as, if you are feeling those emotions, that is incorrect and those are wrong feelings.
yeah.
So for the first time, I was allowing people to see that, and it's like being naked in front of a coliseum of people and being like, oh my gosh.
That makes sense.
You just feel laid so bare, and especially with mountain biking being such a stoic sport, you don't see many people talking about what they're feeling, whether on the racing side and or on the free ride side, that I felt so scared to put that first I can do it video out. And it's kind of when you text a new, like, let's say you're talking to a new person and you've got a crush on them and you're texting and you like kind of send a cheeky text and you're like, let me throw my phone across the ocean. That's what I wanted to do. And I remember showing my friends the video and I was like, should I mute it? Should I put music over it? And they were like, no, why would you do that? And I was kind of coming up with every possible excuse to not have the sound on that video because I was so scared of being that publicly vulnerable. And then I did it, and I am so thankful that I did.
We are too.
Yeah.
I feel
Thanks,
like
guys.
I feel like you probably felt like you were with the vulnerability. You know, here's mountain biking professionalism. You may have thought you came down a bit, but
absolutely.
I feel like you raised yourself up and you raised everyone else up with you a bit on believing in themselves of like, because you're absolutely right. So many we look at professional mountain bikers of like, they have no fear, you know, it's like they got this is no problem for them. And yeah, that might be true in some cases, but it's like, oh, it's okay to be scared and face your fears and get out of your comfort zone. So you have definitely made a lot more people, athletes in all areas, believe in themselves a lot more. So
it was crazy, the response too on that video, that it wasn't just, I would say most of the people that replied to that video were normal people in their daily walks of life. Someone commented that they started saying it on their drive to work and they said it at their new job that they were so scared and felt like they didn't deserve it. Usain Bolt liked that post. And I was like,
that's crazy.
What? And then I would say the craziest thing to come out of that post was SZA, the R&B pop artist. She followed me on Instagram.
Oh, that's cool.
She DM'd me and was like, you're incredible. I can't believe you follow me. And I was like,
that.
back up, back up.
Whole different set of emotions.
It felt so liberating and so rewarding. And it was also one of those things where, I mean, yes, I had literally been practicing the I can do it stuff. And I was taking steps out of my comfort zone and actually moving forward and progressing. But I think that also felt like a huge, gigantic step out of my comfort zone in the sense of I was sharing something that felt so scary to share. And the minute I did it, it was like I grew as a person.
Yeah. Well, and that part too is encouraging as well. Like, you know, Drew and I starting this podcast, we're like, do we want to, you know, add to the noise of the podcast world? And it's been great. Like it's been amazing hearing from other people like yourself of their stories and just meeting really cool people. But what would you say to others who are afraid to expose who they really are out of fear? Just do it.
Gosh, I'm like, whoa, wrong clothing brand.
No fear.
So sorry.
You know what? I would just say like the validation of it's okay what you're feeling, and what you're feeling is really important to identify of why am I feeling this and what is it trying to tell me? That was a big thing for me too, of just fear is a funny way of protecting yourself, and a lot of times it comes to your brain's archaicness of it's just trying to protect your survivability, it's trying to protect your ego. And oftentimes the minute you break through that threshold, your life changes and you get to grow as a person, and you can accomplish so much more the minute that you confront and overcome the challenge.
I love that so much. I'm getting so hyped over here. So moving down to segment 2, impact, identity, and the future. Do you see yourself as an up-and-comer or someone who's already here and leading by example?
That one's one that I've been grappling with, I would say, a lot this year. I would say for me, I've come to terms with I am not a big sender anymore, and that's okay. And before, I was sending it and doing really big features that were out of my comfort zone for validation, not because I actually wanted them. And so for me, my writing, my biggest thing right now is my writing needs to reflect if this is something I actually want to do or not.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it feels weird when you're looking at the freeride space from maybe a little bit of an outside perspective and also differentiating yourself. I would say my freeride career has looked a little bit than a lot of the other female freeriders from the standpoint of content is a really big focus of mine. Vulnerability is a really big focus of mine. Community is a really big focus of mine I started a women's ride here. So I think also is that loud?
Yeah, it's fine though.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, go.
I'm in the garage.
I know. Same thing for me. I think we're all in
Okay.
our garages actually.
Love it. Love the garage.
Yeah,
It's
well,
great.
my neighbors are fighting, I think, next door, so I'm
Oh,
glad
I
you don't
can't
hear
hear
that. Yeah, good. Okay,
that
good.
sounds entertaining.
I'm sitting there
Yeah,
going,
yeah. You're
really?
like, actually
Okay.
cut.
Yeah. You can do this. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, for me, it's like I need to do stuff that's fulfilling for me, even if it looks different. And I would say my biggest thing right now is having confidence in my own career and knowing that even though my path looks different, it's what brings me joy. And the minute that, and I know it instantly, the minute that I feel the urge to do a feature to prove myself, to make myself feel like I am a more legitimate freerider, I know that it is not conducive to what I actually want to be doing and what brings me joy. And I will just find myself back into that progression rut and a burnout, and that's obviously what I want to avoid. So for me, I think I don't even know if I would consider myself an up-and-comer or somebody I'm just me. I'm just having a good time.
I
and
love that.
I think for me, it's better to focus on just what I'm doing rather than the comparison to other
It's very healthy.
female freeriders.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, but I wanted to label you, and with pioneer.
Yeah.
It's because it seems like you're clearly a pioneer in a male-dominated space, and so with that, do you feel like you're sort of driven to champion that role and lead that change for others and yourself, obviously including you? But
Yeah, I guess I would say I wouldn't really put myself in the box of saying I'm a pioneer of women's freeride. I would say maybe
you're one of a few, though, right?
Yeah. I think I felt a lot of pressure being put in that box, especially when I was at the start of my freeride career, when you kind of just get put into the box of, oh, you're a female freerider, you have to do Rampage, you have to do natural selection, and that is how you pioneer the female freeride space. And I was like, but that doesn't necessarily line up with the things that I want to be doing. I would say I feel like I'm pioneering vulnerability within the mountain biking space, and that's really what is bringing me the most joy and showing the inner workings of what it's like being a professional athlete, but also the inner workings of what it's like being an athlete that doesn't have a negative relationship with their emotions either.
Yeah. I want to give you a bit of a mind shift, like of a different way of looking at something.
Yeah.
Let me give the professionals some advice. No, there's no
Change
correction
you.
whatsoever. Is that because when he asked that question, I was thinking the pressure behind it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that you need to be a pioneer, and so you have that pressure of things you need to do. I would say you being yourself, no matter what you do, you are a pioneer. So just keep being you. You're
And of course, that's what I meant. Of course.
Yeah, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah, duh.
I don't know, I was just like, for myself, I was like, that's
No, it's
a lot of
good. It's
pressure.
good.
So
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's kind of like I've taken on more of a mentor role, even for myself too. I think if I was talking to my 15, 16, 17, early 20-year-old self, she would hate me. She would be like, you are so annoying. But also, it would come from a place of jealousy of I'm so at peace with who I am, whereas before I felt so insecure with what I was doing and the constant need to prove myself that I'm kind of just like, I feel more like a mentor now. And it's funny too, one of our really good friends, who I would say is one of the goats of freeride, came over for dinner the other day, and I was talking to him about posting on social media, and I was like, oh, why don't you post? and he was like, I'm so scared of what my friends are going to say. And I was like, do you know who you are? And that literally like flicked off. It kind of was like a wake up call of like, even our favorite rider is having the fear of being perceived and is scared of what their friends are going to say, even though they're one of the most successful free riders in history. So I was just like,
yeah,
you do have real feelings.
Right?
You aren't a robot.
You're a human being. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just, that's crazy. Here she is. Hi, come on.
Hi.
Hey, we do look like we could be cousins.
She's like, we could be cousins. Yeah.
Yes, we have exciting bangs here.
No, it's okay. I think you look fabulous.
No, thank you. I wish I could stay longer, but I'm super glad that I got to at least say hi.
Oh, well, thank you for saying hi. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go pick up Kaden now.
All right,
He's
love
gotta
you.
go. Bye, Sam. So nice to
Oh,
meet
weird.
Bye,
Come
it's
on.
so nice to meet you.
you. Oh, and you too, Drew.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, sister.
Sister. Thank you. She was like, I want to talk to Sam, but I'm nervous. I'm like, just get in here. Like, come on.
It's funny, like, that happens. When I was at Sea Otter, in my head, I'm still, like, 17, and I'm, like, going up to sponsor booths, and I'm like, do you want to sponsor me?
Right?
Like,
yeah.
And
yeah.
people would come up and take pictures with me, and I'm like, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a gentleman come up to me, and he was so visibly nervous to be speaking with me. He was shaking, and I was like, what's happening right now? And it's weird that, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like kind of doing me, and I'm just sharing a lot of my life on the internet, and that is clearly making an impact and a difference in people's lives. And it's just weird when you think of yourself still as kind of like the same person, the same Grom who looks up to, I mean, Tawny Seagrave is now one of my friends, and Chaos Seagrave is one of my best friends. Every time I talk to Tawny, I'm like, you got this.
Right.
And like,
I can do
we're
this.
friends.
I can do
Seriously. And I'm like, Tawny and I are friends, but I still feel like I'm in that, 17-year-old body where I'm like, you're my hero.
Right.
You're my hero.
That's so funny. We definitely at Sea Otter, Haley and I had a moment to where we saw April. And all you have to do is say her first name, but
Yes.
but like, I wanted to go say hi, and Haley was
Yeah.
like, no, she's like, I
We
need
can't.
like 3 more beers before I can like at all even talk. We were looking for you too, and I was like, I did not realize how many people come to this, like, to like, oh, I'm just gonna run into them,
Yeah, you're like, no, I'm not running into anybody.
Yeah, and Haley would have gone on your women's ride, but we could only go Saturday, so it was on Friday. But but I have that same, like, we've had Braden on, and he was a catalyst for my growth, and then now I'm in a like texting friendship with him, and it's just like I'm texting
Exactly.
pro mountain bikers, and now friends with you, and so I was like, that's so cool. Like we're all people.
It's funny, and I think you forget that too, especially as a Grom. Like, I have made so many friends. My boyfriend started off as a filmer for like the mountain bike space, and so he's built all these relationships as a filmer, but also as a rider. And so like, you'll have Tom Van Steenbergen coming over to our house, or Brett Reeder, and Emil is coming over to our house, and I'm like, this is so crazy.
Yeah.
And now I'm friends with them. I can hang out with them, and it's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is so weird.
Right? It is. It's really
Even though
cool.
like you hear them talk, and you almost are like, wow, you really are just a normal human.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, any filming projects you have in your future?
I have 2 projects that I'm so excited to release.
We're excited.
Breaking
For me,
news.
I am at the point where, for me, as a rider, I don't really feel that inspired in creating a shred it as myself as a rider. I think the biggest thing for me is I want to feel inspired and I want to ride my bike and shred it, especially my own shred it. I don't feel like do that. I can watch my shred it and be like, cool, that was nice. Right. So my 2 projects are more story based. This project has gone on tour with 5 different film tours, which was a crazy accomplishment. It got into the Banff World Tour, which was insane. But my documentary that I shot in the Philippines, Trail to Bayanihan, will be released this year.
Sweet.
And then I did a short film with my best friend where we ride on a tandem, revisiting all of the places that make up, or I guess integral parts of our friendship. When Jazz and I first became friends, we didn't have a car and we wanted a mode of transportation that we both can go on. So we decided to go on a 40-mile tandem ride because we could be together and we could go longer distances because there was 2 amounts of horsepower instead of 1.
Nice. Okay.
So I'd say those are the 2 projects that we've got coming along this year.
Was it, did you say the name? Is it 2 Wheels to Telluride or something like that?
It's It Takes 2 to Tandem.
Takes 2 to Tandem. That's, wow,
yeah.
I got that wrong.
Yeah. No, it's close enough.
It's close enough.
You got the letters in there. Just
wrong state.
The wrong configuration, but...
Well, I just wanted to make sure it got out there. That's
all right.
Awesome. When can we watch those? They're not out yet, right?
No, we're still in the process of the release program. Okay. Just the nitty-gritty details of when it's going to be released, the release rollout plan, the part.
Well, I was trying to look for them because I saw them coming out, and I was like, where do I go to see it? Not really.
You and everybody else. Yeah. It's been so hard, especially with the Trail to Bayanihan. There's been so many people that are like, I saw it at the Banff World Tour and I was so inspired and I want to watch it. I'm like, me too.
You're like, I'd love to watch it too.
Yeah.
So is there good mountain biking in the Philippines?
Yeah, I was actually pretty impressed. I was also surprised. It's more raw trails, and they are so gnarly. We rode one trail that I was like, if I crash right now, I will be so messed up. Cool. But we survived.
Okay, because we should be going to the Philippines for like a month in December to visit her family. And I've looked on Trail Forks and I was like, there's like one in the whole country. And so that makes total sense that there's other stuff.
You should go up to Baguio. I can put you in connection with Vince. He does like 7-day mountain bike adventures.
Sweet.
And you probably could ride the trail that we rode in the film, which actually was really sick. You're up in this beautiful valley and you're just riding this like skinny trail down. And we rode with, I would say, your average mountain biker. So nothing was really crazy, but the trails were so beautiful. They were stunning.
Love it. Okay, cool. Haley's going to be stoked on that.
No, just kind of with your mindset, with where you're at. You've accomplished so much in my book at a young age. If you had a crystal ball, what would be the hope to see? What would you hope to see for yourself in 5, 10, even 20 years from now?
I would say I feel like the confidence in yourself is an ever-growing, ever-changing thing. So I would hope that in the future, I still feel really confident, and I wouldn't say really confident. I hope that I feel even more confident and I feel even more secure in my career. I hope that I'm still inspiring people. I hope for the future to start a foundation. I would love to start a foundation for Filipino riders and have that. I mean, there's not a lot of resources in the Philippines, especially for mountain biking, which is such an expensive sport. And especially being and seeing in that community firsthand, I would love to be able to uplift that community. I just hope that I'm having fun too, and I'm having a good time. I journal about this a lot of I guess not in like a brash way, but I always tell myself that like I will be successful and I will achieve my dreams.
I love that.
And I think it's just like the constant motivation of like to keep striving towards greatness. And it doesn't have to be greatness of like a certain accolade. It's just kind of, I guess, whatever. It's weird too that if I looked back and all the goals that I set as a 15-year-old, I have accomplished them at 25, and now I'm like, woo, I got to set some new goals.
You're like,
so
I
probably, yeah. So I'm like, I feel like I should, like, I don't know, get on my goal writing grind. But I think I've just kind of left it open ended of like, you're going to be successful and you're going to achieve your dreams.
I love that.
We're big advocates on life can be hard, so make it fun. So I love that you added the fun part. It's just like, we all have a choice. I mean, different circumstances for some people, but it's like, if you have the choice, like, why make life stupid and hard? It's already stupid and hard. So
exactly. Might as well make it fun.
Yeah. Bikes.
Fun,
man.
stupid, hard.
Yeah.
In closing-ish, what parting words do you have for women in the sport or any sport?
Don't be afraid to be you, and don't be afraid to show every single part of yourself, the fear, the excitement, the passion, the pride. I would say a really big emphasis on the pride. I think as women, we often push down our pride because you don't want to come off as egotistical, but if you've worked so hard for your achievements, you're allowed to be proud of yourself.
Yes.
I would say those are my biggest things.
That's perfect enough, man.
Yep, and that's a good legacy right there. So
yeah. So
one thing I was curious with cross country and downhill, already having such traction with women and all that, and the backing of women in those sports with freeride. What would you say, how can sponsors, event coordinators, and decision makers in mountain biking do better to support women riders?
I think the cool thing with freeride is that there's so many different avenues you can go down, especially me being an example of having a bigger focus on content. I would say brands wanting to support female athletes, I would just say brands wanting to support female athletes. Freeride is such a really unique and amazing place to start. I've been working with a wellness shot company that was so random, but they have been so supportive of everything that I've done. And I also love their products. It's Vive Organics. Every time I get sick, I always will have their ginger shots. And then when they hit me up, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I would just say, like, they're, especially with, like I said, freeride having so many different avenues, support those different avenues, support those different and unique ways that you can have and bolster a career, whether it looks a traditional route or something different. I think if an athlete is willing to put in the hard work and also prove that it will be successful, then bolster that.
Right. I love that.
It's amazing. I just wanted to say, Sam, like, in closing, like, you have impacted just so many people, like, that you probably don't even realize. Like, even in my own household, like, I still remember my fiance when she was getting into mountain biking. Like, she showed me that self-talk video of yours.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can do this. And now, like, whenever I put a camera on her, I hear her, she's like, I got this, or attack mode, it's just like,
yeah.
And regulating emotions when things get crazy and it transfers to other parts in life. And even just like wearing pink, like your pink Evoke chest plate that you have.
I'm like, where is it?
It's
right here.
When you had that giveaway, I was like, I'm gonna win that for Haley because she always wears a chest plate, and but our 4-year-old saw that 4-year-old daughter, and she's like, I can be cute while doing crazy things, like, and it goes a long way. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Like she puts on her peak full face, her pads, her pink strider, her favorite dress, and she sends it. It's just. And even like women riding, like Haley, we were climbing up, and there was a group of kids on a field trip, and I was like, babe, I bet so many girls just saw you riding, and they're like, girls can mountain bike?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just, it opens a whole new world of what girls can do and women can do, and so So I just want to say thank you for taking that vulnerable step and impacting, because I think that video has 25 million views now.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, and that's what, like 5 times the population of New York City. That's crazy to think about.
Oh wow, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now it's going to get 25,000,001. Because of
Exactly.
our following. No,
whatever, dude.
Gosh, messing around. It's funny. I was actually using, and thinking of you using, I was using I Can Do This today. A little bit different, though. I was climbing my mountain bike, and it was a long climb, and I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. I can get up there. So whether you're jumping off crazy cliffs or climbing a stupid elevation,
or hunting, I don't know, like whatever people do, fun sports and stuff, other people, it's
Yeah.
transferable to anything. It's about how to be a human and have more fun with it. And this is a very full circle moment for us, because Fearless Mind, we had Braden on here, now finally we have you on here, and Dr. Craig Manning maybe next. I'll try for
Let's
that.
manifest
But,
that.
yeah, let's all just think about it right now.
Yeah.
Craig. Craig.
I think it's Greg, actually.
It's Craig.
Is it Craig? I think it's Craig.
Oh, it is Craig. Okay.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna come on now.
Hey, he needs
He's
to
like,
come and
you
make
were
his
caught.
case.
That he is a strong Craig, not a Greg.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. My fiance texted me and was like, "Boo! I wish I could have hung out longer, but we got baseball tonight in a minute."
Hey,
but
there's always the future, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Part
Come out to
2.
Utah.
we are
Yeah.
we are in
Inviting
July.
ourselves. Oh, sure.
We are in July going to be in Salt Lake City for our Mountain Up
Oh,
Summit.
okay.
And we're getting a group of mountain bikers together to ride. So if you want to come up, you totally
I
can.
totally would. I am going to be in Colorado all of July.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
yeah, I am escaping the heat. It's like
Yes.
a gazillion degrees down here that I wouldn't
Yeah, that
put
makes sense.
myself through
That's
that.
fair.
The following week, we're going to be at A Basin.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
Yeti.
okay. Well, maybe I'll see you guys there.
Yeah.
We're like randomly also we're doing like a family vacation. So I
Sweet.
don't know.
I'll-
I'm like, this
I'll
is
hit
our
you up.
first this is our first non-biking related trip. And I was like, what do we do with ourselves?
Right? Like, what is this? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because that's one thing we've been working towards is Yeti Gathering 2026, and this year it's at A Basin.
Yeah.
And then there's a day at a bike park too, and it's like 3 days of crazy
Keystone.
riding.
Oh, Keystone's
Yeah.
like a gnarly bike park. It's
Sweet.
just really raw.
Okay, cool.
That's
We've
where I
been to
learned to snowboard.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, because Drew lived in Denver for a hot minute. And
Okay.
a long
That was
time
a
ago.
quick hot minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've
Well,
been
if
to
you guys want to
Whistler,
go,
so we might-
if you want to go to Trestle, let me know.
Okay.
I can get you guys passes. It's like an hour away. It's like Keystone's here, and then you kind of have to do this like U shape
Sweet.
to get up
okay.
to Trestle. So
Cool.
I would say worth it.
Yeah. We might. We're bringing our producer, and he's making a whole like road trip documentary because we're driving out there.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun. And
Well,
we're
then it would be rude not to go.
right, exactly. And we're gonna be interviewing people at the Yeti Gathering. They should be setting up a space for us at the
Yeah.
thing. So
Sick.
we're excited. So
Yeah.
we'll be in the same state.
No, I think that'll be cool. I think just touching on it quickly, especially with what you said about your daughter being okay to wearing pink, that is something that I recently started doing. And it's funny because guys, like you said, Drew, of like, yeah, you want to wear pink. But it's funny because I'm like, God forbid a man will do something that makes them feel good.
Right.
And I'm like, do you...
I wear
boob
pink.
shoes.
I
The
wear
boob
pink.
shoes.
Absolutely. I rock
So
these
it's
5'10s.
it's funny too because it's like my boyfriend loves putting together riding kits, and he like it's just weird that it's not something that's like more loved of like look good, feel good, and if
Right.
you want to wear a sporty kit, if you want to wear pink, who cares?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people are so afraid of what other people will say about them that I'm like, I mean, especially me, I didn't want to wear pink because I didn't want to be seen as girly, and I didn't want to be seen as too girly enough that I couldn't be taken seriously in a sport. I had a time where someone said, it was like an acquaintance. They were like, Sam only has sponsors because she's pretty, not because she's good. And I was like, put another pretty girl on a bike and see how she does.
Yeah,
Right.
I was like, thank you for that backhanded compliment. However, that was so mean. So it's like, now I'm kind of like, whatever, I'm going to wear pink. Who gives a rat's ass?
Right.
Sorry if I can't cuss.
No, you're fine. I used to cuss all the time on this. My sister
We say
called me out
rat
on it,
all
but-
the time.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
rat all the time. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say from what you said earlier, it's like to us at least, it's very evident on that you would deserve all your success. So that
Thank you.
That's 100%.
I appreciate that.
And the word girly, and this is something you're pioneering. The word girly means strong, and it means badass. It means like, oh, you have emotions, and emotions are good. Like you got to let them out. My gosh.
They're
them
like
out.
almost as like we were like meant to feel them. I don't know, just a crazy thought. I don't know, just like kind of out there opinion,
Yeah,
but
correct.
whatever.
We're gonna go cry right after this. So
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna cry because there's not a Can-Am in the garage.
yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No Can-Am. I'm sorry
Shake
about
my
that.
head.
Yeah, that's
We'll
their
send this to
loss.
them. Yeah. Seriously.
Their loss.
Cool. Well,
Awesome.
my kid's game starts in 5 minutes, so it's been amazing,
you.
Sam. We
No,
appreciate
thank
you.
you
your time.
guys. Thank you
Yeah.
guys. I appreciate
We're
it. I had a
honored.
blast talking.
Good. So did we. So
Probably
Yep.
too much. So sorry about
Hey,
that.
stop
No,
that.
we're
Hey,
good.
stop
Yeah.
that. That's stinking thinking right there.
yeah.
True.
We brought
Yes.
you
True.
on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you bring us on yours,
Yes.
then you will have
Ooh,
less
there
talk.
we go.
No.
Sure.
Well, I'm finishing up my podcast studio now. So once it's back up and running, or once it's just up and running,
We could do an old guy's mountain bike episode.
Maybe
Old
you.
guy.
Yeah,
old
just
guy.
you go on. I'm just kidding.
no, I think your guys' story is unique too. Of you are inspired by Braden, you were in a low point, your brothers, and the fact that you decided to be brave and start a podcast, I think is really cool. I think a lot of people want to do stuff like that, but just choose not to because they're afraid of taking the risk.
Thank you. That means a lot.
100%.
Yeah.
And you know what it came from? We talked about it for a long time and I was dragging my feet. And then Haley, she finally came in and was like, when are you going to start your freaking podcast? And I was like,
Yeah.
right now. And I called
Yeah.
Drew and I was like, all right, I'm in. So, and it's been great
Yeah.
ever since. So,
Yeah, you're like, I ordered the mics right now.
yes, exactly. So,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you, Sam.
Thank you guys.